The wind played with my hair as I descended the airplane steps, and the warm, humid air instantly enveloped me like an old blanket. There it was, that same feeling of freedom I had been chasing all over the world. This time, my destination was a small, nameless island in the heart of the ocean, my personal paradise for the next 2 weeks. And my faithful companion was a suitcase half filled with swimsuits. Each one had its own story, its own mood, and its own purpose. For the first day, I chose my boldest piece, a tiny blood-red bikini. It was daring, loud, and demanded attention. Just what I needed to declare to this island, I'm here. I spread my towel on the golden sand, which sparkled in the sun like a scattering of jewels, and breathed in the salty air deeply. The ocean was calling me. I ran into the turquoise waves, and the cool water enveloped my heated skin. It was pure bliss. When I surfaced, brushing my wet hair from my face, I noticed him. He was standing on a surfboard, skillfully balancing on the approaching wave. His body was lean and tanned, and his hair was bleached by the sun to light strands. For a moment, our eyes met across the water. I smiled slightly and dove back under, feeling a pleasant tingle of intrigue begin to tickle me from within. The next morning, I decided to treat myself to a little adventure. The locals told me about a secret bay hidden behind a wall of tropical jungle. For such an expedition, I chose something different, an elegant, deep emerald-colored one-piece swimsuit. It fit my body like a second skin, creating the image of a mysterious explorer rather than just a tourist making my way through the thick undergrowth. I heard only the singing of exotic birds and the rustling of leaves under my feet. And then, finally, a miracle opened up before me. A small, perfectly round beach with snow-white sand, surrounded by high cliffs. And there, on one of the boulders protruding from the water, he was sitting, the same surfer. This time he wasn't catching waves, but simply meditating with his eyes closed. I sat quietly on the sand, trying not to disturb him. When he opened his eyes, he wasn't surprised to see me. A warm, sincere smile appeared on his face, and he nodded as if we were old acquaintances. In the evening, a huge bonfire was lit on the main beach. The air was filled with the sounds of drums and laughter. It was the perfect occasion for my favorite swimsuit, black, embroidered with thousands of tiny silver sequins. In the light of the fire, it sparkled like a night sky full of stars. I danced barefoot on the warm sand, surrendering to the rhythm and feeling like part of this magical ritual. And then he approached. "It seems we keep bumping into each other," he said, his voice as warm as his gaze. "Maybe this island isn't that big," I replied playfully. "Or maybe you're just following me, surfer boy," he laughed. "Call it fate, or my excellent taste in interesting company." "I'm Alex, Kira," I introduced myself. We talked for what seemed like hours. Standing at the water's edge, he talked about his travels in search of the perfect wave, and I talked about my swimsuit collection, each piece of which was a ticket to a new adventure. Our conversations were light and witty, and with each passing minute, the tension between us grew, filled with the promise of something more. When the music stopped and people began to disperse, Alex took my hand. His touch was warm and confident. "The night is not over yet," he whispered, looking into my eyes, which reflected the glimmers of the dying fire. "How about a night swim? I promise, in this swimsuit, you'll outshine even the stars." I smiled. My vacation was just beginning, and I felt that the most exciting adventure was ahead of me.